Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am Kiera and I have a message for you. Repeat after me. I have everything I need to start creating content. You have everything you need to start creating content. You need nothing more than what you already have. And I feel like that's a really big thing around social media and creating content. Everybody feels like they have to get the $800 camera, get the $200 lighting equipment, have the aesthetic background, have a nice house, have a nice little cute area. Whatever it is they may feel like they need because of what they see on social media. And I'm telling you, that's not the case. So like walk with me a little bit, okay? So when I think about pre-social media and how brands got it out the mud to get to where they are today, I really think about FUBU and Carl Kanai. And if you don't know, FUBU and Carl Kanai are two black urban fashion brands. These black men saw a lack of representation of the urban black culture in the fashion industry, and they met that need and they created dope stuff and put it out in the street and got in front of the right eyes, and then and were able to grow their fashion brands into the empire it is today. um and when I think about those brands and those people behind those brands, they wasn't worried about no aesthetics. They weren't worried about things looking cute. Now, of course, like they wanted their product to be nice quality, make it fly, make it right, make it hot, right? But like they weren't being nitpicky about it. They saw a need and they knew they had a product out there that would fulfill that need. Their main focus was putting out that product to fulfill that need they saw that was missing in the fashion industry market with pertaining to black people and black culture, right? They didn't focus on what they lacked. They didn't acknowledge what they lacked, but they didn't allow their lack to overpower what they knew they had, the value they knew they had to offer to people, outside of them, right? Um, Instead of focusing on their lack, they focus on their product. They focus on utilizing their resources and what they had. In that case, it was network, it was people. So because of who they knew, the charisma and stuff, they street cred or whatever it may be, they were able to get their product in the right places. And that's basically like kind of how I want you to think and approach social media. Like, forget the aesthetics and think about the product. Think about getting the product to as many eyes as you can get. With that is Instagram. Think about getting as much reach as you can get. Like, because once you get the right audience in front of it, it's gonna pop off. And aesthetics don't really matter. It's really about your messaging and the value you have to offer to that person. So like don't get caught up in the aesthetic. And not only did they utilize what they had, as they grew, they refined the product. They made it better. As they continued to grow, they made the product better and expanded their business. But if they were to focus on the aesthetic of the clothes and how it looked and if it was fly or not, they wouldn't be where they are today. They saw a need, they had the hustle, they knew the value they had to offer, and they got it out there by any means. They didn't let what they lacked get in the way of their vision. They didn't allow what they lacked to get in the way of the value they had to offer to the black community. That was irrelevant. If anything, their lack influenced them to go hard, go hustle, and go put that product out there so they can turn their situation around and get things that they do desire versus what they lack. Um, so yeah, with that being said, I want to leave you guys with three things. Just three tips to marinate on and just for you to think about and reflect on. First thing I want to say is don't be ashamed of where you're at. I know on social media there's been a lot of controversy around content creators basically going outside of their means to keep up with a lifestyle that they can't afford because they're ashamed of where they're at. And honestly, it's not that serious. People will take you for who you are and accept you for who you are as long as you're authentic and you have something of value to them. Like, for instance, TikTok. People on TikTok, some of the funniest creators, the best creators don't have aesthetically pleasing uh backgrounds or apartments or houses or anything. And that's not shade or anything. Like, they're in the house. Like it doesn't look like a $1 million home, but that's okay because no one cares about that. They care about the commentary, the joking and stuff. That's what they come to them for. They don't come to them because of the aesthetic. Like me personally, like you can have a nice aesthetically video or background or stuff, and it'll capture my eye, yes. But like if you're not talking about nothing I'm interested in, or if I feel like it's fluff and it's not a value of me, I'm scrolling past it. Like sure the aesthetic pleasingly videos lured me in, but it doesn't keep me there. The person keeps me there. The messaging behind whatever the person's saying is keeping me there. So like keep that in mind. Like embrace where you're at. Like everybody starts from somewhere. You're not going to start from the top. Like no one ever starts from the top unless you're a nepo baby. you know so embrace where you're at, enjoy it, enjoy the journey, like because like when you get to where you want to be, you're gonna look back and be like, dang, like I created this out of that, you know so embrace where you're at and don't be ashamed of where you're currently at. Don't be ashamed if you don't have your apartment furnished. Don't be ashamed if you at home with your parents. Don't be ashamed if you got to only film. Like, don't be ashamed of where you got to film or what you have to do or what's going on in your life. Embrace it. It's a part of your journey. It's a part of the process, and embrace it. Enjoy it. Like enjoy it while you can, because this is what really shapes you and molds you for real. So yeah, don't be ashamed of where you're at. Secondly, don't compare yourself to content creators. Do not compare yourself to the content creators you see online. And I kind of touched on this earlier, but like, yeah, like you'll be surprised. Like some content creators, you may think they have this nice $1 million home, but like that's not really the reality of it. And like also, you have to keep in mind like your favorite content creators started where you were at too, wherever place that may be. There was a point in their career where they were where you're currently at. So like keep that in mind when you want to like, keep up with them or, feel like you have to get all the gadgets or whatever you feel like you may need. Like everybody goes to this phase. It's okay. Like you have everything you need within you to do what you need to do to put out the content. So embrace that. Don't compare, because I feel like when you compare yourself, then you start getting nitpicky, or then you start feeling unqualified. Then you start feeling like your content's not valuable, it's not of use, and that's not the case at all. Like you put the content out there, there's somebody out there that's going to be impacted, whether you know it or not, whether they say it or not. Somebody's going to be impacted by what you put out there. So don't let what you lack get in the way of your impact or what you can do. I keep saying this, I kind of want to reiterate it, but like your favorite content creators, they were at your place once upon a time in their journey. So keep that in mind. And I know I keep saying that, but like I need you to understand, like everybody starts somewhere. We started from the bottom, now we here. You heard? Lastly, don't underestimate yourself. Um, and this like goes back into like the comparison thing. Like, don't underestimate yourself because you'll be surprised at what you can do. Um, I so like how like and how like when you're applying for a job or you're doing it in a new industry, you take your transferable skills from the one industry you were in to another industry. I want you to do that same thing when it comes to like creating content. I want you to look at your track record, your working history, and see what skills do you have that you can utilize in creating content. You might have been an administrative assistant. That's great. You can organize and structure out your content. You could utilize that skill to help you with your content. You might have been a server in hospitality. You know how to speak and engage with customers online. It may not be in person, but it's the same thing. You're just typing instead of physically speaking to them. So think about what skills you have that you can apply to creating content, because you'll be surprised and you'll be like, oh, okay, I kind of got something I'm working with. Like, I don't think I lack as much as I thought I did before. So look at your work history and see what skills you can transfer to creating content. You'll really surprise yourself. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this is really helpful. Um, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later.